I was constantly on an edge, on a point of breaking. It took me so long time to find a technique that finally worked. I want my child to see a strong woman that is stable. That separation was during the time that I was pregnant.
Oh my goodness. I just finished recording of this Zen Supermom podcast episode, and it was an interview with a woman who met me when she was deciding to become a mom. And she was deciding to become a solo mom. So she was just in the process of breaking up and going for it as a solo parent to be. And this is just such a wonderful success story that I feel so happy to share with everybody, with moms to be, with moms of young kids, women who are choosing to be solo parents, or for whomever reason, if you ended up being a single parent, not by your choice. Anyone who's doubting, like, should I stay in the toxic relationship, or like maybe my kids are better because I want them to have a father, be present. This is a very powerful testimony of how much one healed, emotionally safe parent can do for their child, and why is it actually the best setup possible or available, rather than going through some toxic relationship and prolonging it just for the kids. So this story is so inspiring and powerful for so many reasons. So I'm just so excited for you to watch it. So without any further ado, meet Victoria and hear out what she has to say. Yay. Thank you so much, Victoria, for your happy volunteering, happy sharing of your story in this podcast episode. Thank you. So happy to have you here.
Thank you, Elena. I'm also happy to be here to contribute and do whatever necessary, to give whatever I learned to the world.
Yes, exactly, because that's what we were just talking about before I hit the record button, is when I was asking you if you want to have your face covered or anything. Can you share again what you just told me? Because I feel like that's such an important part of your story, actually.
Yes, yeah, I told that it's fine because I own my story. That's what I lived, so I stand by it.
Excellent. So beautiful. Let's start at the beginning. Because most of the moms who will be watching, they will have never seen your face. They don't know anything about you. So let's give them a brief story of where were you when we met?
Yes. So at that point, I was thinking I planned to get pregnant, right? By insemination and donor sperm. And I also was super stressed. I realized that I have patterns, recurring patterns at work. I was crying. Like if something was happening, I was crying. But I also know that, and it happened, that sometimes I could be screaming at people, close people in the family. And then I thought that, oh my God, I don't have a kid yet, and I'm so stressed, and I can't handle my emotion. What would happen if I will get a baby? Because it's additional stress on top of what I already have. I thought my child will be traumatized. So I really want to heal. And when I was listening to your podcast, I realized the things in me. I could recognize them. So then I was writing to you on Facebook, on your email. I just wanted to start the process, to actually heal myself and be a better person.
And this is so beautiful. And that's why I still remember it even today. Because no matter all of my content, all of my podcast episodes, most of it is for moms. And here you were, a woman who's so aware. You're not even a mom yet, and you already want to get ahead of the curve and want to work with that before you become a mom. And I know this will be like such a dream for so many moms who already have kids and maybe like young kids or older kids. And it's like, oh, I wish I did that, because that's how I felt. I was like, oh my
Mm.
goodness, I wish I met somebody before I had my daughter. And I wish I had that insight and awareness to actually realize, yeah, there's something in me that needs to go so that I can be the safe, emotionally available mom. So
Mm.
well done. Most of us realize it only when it's like already happening. So that's why I was so excited that you reached out to me, and that even you were mentioning that this podcast was part of what was building your trust. So
Absolutely.
let this episode meet any future moms out there who are feeling the same way as you do, Victoria.
Mm?
What a beautiful thing. Can we mention, to the level of detail that
Yeah.
you are comfortable with, there was additional, like a little bit messy part there for you at the beginning, because it's not only that, first of all, bravo, you you decided to be a single or solo mom, but also at the beginning, the big thing that was taking a lot of your energy out, that was stressing you and that was like so confusing and painful, was your relationship. So
Yes.
if
Yeah.
like that's a taboo topic, I'll respect that.
No, no, I
I just
can.
mentioned it basically myself,
Yeah.
but whatever else you want to mention about that, I think it would be great, because there are so many women who get trapped in these relationships, and be it with the father of the kid or just any guy, because I can't do it by myself and I
Yeah.
cannot be all alone, and like, so it would be great to
Exactly.
hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I was in a relationship for 7 years, and um, at the beginning, I was there because I felt that it was so nice to travel. We had the same common interest, but then I at the one point I realized I want to have a kid, and then I asked, "Would you like to have a kid?" And yeah, my ex-partner told me that no, he doesn't want at that moment. He might want it in the future. So, and I felt that I was grabbing hold of that hope. So even though it was tearing me, I remember that trip when he told me, no, I don't want to. I still was holding on to the relationship. And he clearly told me, no, no, I don't want to have that kid. No, no, no. And I still had that hope. And although I was doing all the travels, I was constantly doing something. It was just a buzz in me, a lot of things. But the core desire was not solved. And I was, when I was 32, now I'm 38. At 32, I was in a relationship already for 3 years. Um, I also froze my eggs. So I wanted to safeguard it, right? And he also paid part of it. So that was that, maybe he wants to. Um, yeah, so although it was that things that I was doing, I was never satisfied, and I was never happy indeed. But I was so afraid of letting go of the relationship, that anxious attachment style, what then Christine, the coach, explained to me I had, it was so strong. And I do understand the moms or even the single or the girls that are in relationship and very hard to imagine themselves being single. I do understand them because it's such a strong emotion. Yeah. So anyhow, I felt that I had a plan B. So I always thought that a plan B, and I even told my ex-partner when I will be 36. If you still don't want to have babies, I will go take my frozen eggs and I will be pregnant. And I was kind of monitoring myself when I would be ready to do that, because the thought existed to become a single mom, but that readiness, it was not there. And I was kind of looking for things and but I couldn't really find a way to. I couldn't find an instruction. Okay, what do you do if you want to inseminate yourself? And then at one point, it was. A book that I saw in the library. It was Self-Standing Moms, and I'm like, this might be sign from the universe. So that I took this book, I read it, and I felt like, yes, it's time to go. So at that point, I was actually really emotionally ready to do this step. I was ready to become a mom and take that responsibility. But I also realized that, okay, it could break our relationship, but I also still hoped that he would stay. That was so unbelievable. And I became pregnant from the first attempt, and everything, like the whole process of even getting a donor, was so fast. So I wasn't really when I told you, I wasn't even happy or sad. I was just, oh my god, that's the fact. And I think the toughest part was when my ex-partner said, I get an anxiety. He was anxious before I even get, it was 3 weeks before insemination. So that separation was during the time that I was pregnant. And I think the healing came when the baby was born, because that baby, yeah, also it was when it was maybe a month before or 2 months, I felt like, okay, this relationship is not going, because he was still writing to me, I still was replying, but I made a promise for myself that 2025 will be the year where I will be a strong mom, and I knew that that behavior, what I was doing, it was not healthy, and I didn't want to have it for my child. I want my child to see a strong woman that is stable and doesn't have these things, so he
These
wouldn't pick up on
attachments
it.
and the victim and feeling like I
Yes.
need somebody else to lean on because I can't do it on my own, and
Yeah.
feeling like, oh, poor me, he
Yeah.
promised and he gave all of this hope and now he's getting anxious and getting cold feet. Yeah.
Yeah. But what also I liked what you told me once is that you told me you will have this relationship, you will have this behavior, but at one point when you will have enough, you will turn. And that point arrived. And actually, the fact that you told me that, it gave me, because when you are putting that deadline on you, you have to break up or you have to do this, it's additional stress because you can't. So I really like that I was watching for that natural thing. And although I know you want to break it faster, and I wished I would do that, but it feels like a process. You cannot break it easy.
It's
Yeah.
a
So,
process that includes grieving, like grieving the
mm,
dreams you had that will never come true. And you need to start
yeah.
rewriting and creating new futures. So, yeah, it is absolutely a process. And you took it based on your readiness. That's what I love. You were always in the power. You had
Mm,
the agency. It was you driving the actions. You were not the victim of his decisions or what he was saying or doing or what other people were telling you should be doing or not doing, like your family or friends.
mm,
You did what felt right to you with your intuition, and you just looked for the support and help that would like guide you get there. Yeah.
yes.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Yes.
Congratulations. I'll just be like, you can be so proud of yourself as you went through this journey all the way till today. And so we will just keep highlighting that through as you're sharing your story. So this was the baseline where you were
Mhm.
when we met. I think you reached out to me like when just like a few weeks, or you just found out that that first attempt was successful, because I still remember that moment when you were saying like, "Oh my goodness," and the baby is already here. We don't know how it's going to go, but it looks like it might be it. And so everybody's freaking out. Was it, do I remember it
Yeah,
correctly?
it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before insemination. Yeah,
Yeah.
before the first attempt. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's it. You were not a mom yet. You were getting
No,
ready. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
and I was hoping that you would take me into the program because I was not a mom.
And I was like,
So,
of course, this is even better. And you were expecting me to like chase you away to say, you're not a mom yet. Come when you have a
exactly.
baby. And I was like, no, the opposite. Like, this is so fantastic. I wish all the women in the world would have access to this kind of help before they become moms, because it will help you set up for everything that follows.
Mm,
Let's talk about that now. How about that journey? Because not only you described like it was so like messed up for you navigating through that relationship, now getting pregnant from the first try, which like wow, congratulations to you on that, because that's fantastic, right? And then like all of this realizing, okay, I might need to do this by myself while you were working on those patterns as you mentioned, yeah?
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
the main reason why you reached out to me. So let's talk a little bit about that. What was it? Because this is for many women, this is the first awareness point. They notice there are some patterns in their behavior,
Yes.
uncontrollable anger and
Yeah.
emotions and things like this. They have no idea where it's coming from. Where was it coming from for you? What is it that you realized?
I realized that well, what I listen when I listen to your podcast, you talk about hyperachiever. Yeah. Uh, and well, how I understood that it is someone who is doing a lot, but it's never enough. And it's never enough, and you can never say that yes, you can pat yourself on the shoulder. So it coming a lot from that I was constantly on a edge, on a point of breaking. And also from the fact, what I learned from your program is that um, when somebody give you a criticism, if you think subconsciously that's true, you are breaking. So yes, that was my part. Mm,
Yeah, hyperachiever is definitely, it used to be my strongest pattern. And it's all of these, by the way, those are survival mechanisms, aka trauma coping patterns. Yeah, hyperachiever used to be my strongest one. And then with the criticism, the judge, the inner critic, all of us have that voice in our head as well, right? So then the point was, if it would be like some random hater online criticizing whatever, and you think like whatever, you have no idea what you're talking about, you will just brush it off. But if
mm,
there's a part of you who believes there's something true in it, that's when you get hurt, and that's when you make it personal and you feel like
mm,
you're collapsing inside and you feel judged and criticized. Yeah. So those were the key things you wanted to work on. Again, to the level that you're comfortable sharing, where was that coming from? Because this
yeah.
is another thing that many moms, just like me, whatever, 8 years ago, I thought, well, hyperachiever, it's great to be a hyperachiever, isn't it? I'm working so hard and I have such good working ethics and yeah, I'm so committed and I'm putting other people first and everything. And I thought, well, this was my strength.
Mm.
So
Yes. So for me, it's coming from my childhood. And my mom, who also got it from her mom, and the
generational.
fact, yeah, the grades, yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of like I have to perform in school, not on the top, but still more than well I could maybe at that time. So that's definitely from childhood.
Yep. Generational developmental trauma for all of us. Even if
Mm,
you had a happy childhood, amazing parents, you never missed anything, there was never any shocking, traumatizing event happening. Hyperachiever is one of the developmental trauma patterns we develop when we are praised and appreciated only when
mm,
we are doing 1000% our best. Nothing
yeah.
less is accepted. Yep. So I'm curious, how was it working through that? How was that process, that healing process for you? Were there any surprises? Was there anything unexpected? Anything you like hated about it or tried to resist? How was that journey?
Yes. So uh, well, I was a little bit honestly I was skeptical to the sessions, super skeptical. How would it help me? But I was thinking I'm already there, I already close my eyes and I give it a go. And the interesting part is that yes, I was trying to heal my hyperachiever, although it was not my highest saboteur. Yeah, well,
Trauma pattern? Yeah.
so trauma pattern. Yeah, but it yeah. So if I would say the throughout the process, the thing that hit me most, like it was surprising for me and also explaining a lot, is my loneliness. So out of the session, we got something else, and
Because
that
we go deep. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we go deep. So I was yeah, and that also maybe that now I'm saying that I'm constantly lonely. That means there is no support, and then the whole system is unbalanced. Yeah.
Excellent. So how did that work go, loneliness? So then you just went, and I'm playing devil's advocate, by the way,
Mhm.
here, okay? But this is just because the general public advice then would be, okay, go on Instagram, put in some, take some cute post-it notes and
Mhm.
write on your bathroom mirror a post-it like, I love myself, or I'm amazing, I'm enough. And like, so no, that was not enough to do bathroom mirror
Nothing
stickers.
like that. Nothing like that. And I think this was the core of my problem because, and it also going, if I go back to my relationship, mm, before I met my ex partner, I was doing a lot. I was doing too much and I was realizing that. And I told him, he like, oh, you are so amazing. You're doing so many things. And I told him, I'm doing so many things because I can't be at home by myself. Super deep, right? uh, and it's all, yeah, so we did more than these 5 sessions because that's the core thing that I wanted to heal. And I don't remember what the question was, but anyhow, Christine healed it to the point that I don't feel it anymore. So you really, I can describe it as like rewiring your brain. Seriously, nothing have ever helped me because I was also with a life coach for a year. I tried. I was aware about the patterns. It just took me so long time to find a technique that finally worked. Yeah, and
And
it
then
was
it
not,
worked so fast. Yep.
yeah, and it was not only like one session and go. It was another. Christine was trying to kind of come to that, but I would say that session after that, it was also realization that I was so enclosed. I was not sharing. I was not being authentic. I was having my walls, and I know that because I never. Well, my ex partner, he always voiced his opinions, what he likes, what dislike, and I was sitting there. When he was saying to friends, I don't want to have kids, and I was sitting there. I never told my opinion. I was never voicing. I was just suffering inside. So never being authentic also means that you never open and you never attract the people. So from that moment where we had these 2 sessions, I kind of went out there and started to tell my story. And there were so many who like, oh wow. So and now I would say it's unbelievable. I'm at home with my baby. I have so many. I started to trust myself, my intuition. I started to allow myself to go to the things that I like to do, I want to do. Dare to do this because you have to dare to allow you to go to what you want. So, and I don't feel lonely anymore. And sometimes even it maybe it will come like, oh, but uh, I don't know. There is a gathering, and nobody thought that I cannot come at 7. But then it hits me. By why I can also do the gathering. So the victim, like, okay, there is a victim there. I can do the gathering on my own premises and my own conditions. So there is different techniques that you have taught me, plus the trauma sessions that are, I don't know, complete. It's completely different brain. And if I would, because I was trying to explain this feeling in the words, and what I realized, I have in my car this standard mode, eco mode, and the speed mode. Yeah, and when eco mode is like when you are pressing the pedal and you can't go fast. Yeah, it goes slow, and that's how I feel when something is happening. Well, related, for example, with my mom, because she has these patterns and the triggers. Before I would go on a speed mode, and now I'm on eco mode. I'm like having this cushion that breaking me, not because I want to, because something in my brain is functioning differently.
And
Yeah.
it's much more sustainable and healthier. You're
Mhm.
not breaking things. You're
Yeah.
taking care of yourself while you're allowing yourself not to be triggered by still the unhealed trauma that your mom has. Yeah. And
Yes.
this is so amazing for so many reasons. So, first of all, what I heard you just share in this part of your story was how you are taking down those walls so that
Yeah.
authentic you is shining through. And I can
Mhm.
absolutely attest to that because this is the first time we are really like talking after you had a baby. And like
Mhm.
it's been several months that we didn't see each other.
Yeah.
And while already when you were leaving the program there was a big progress, it feels like you are continuing on that healing path. The tools that you got, I can tell you're practicing.
Mhm.
I can
Mm.
tell you're putting it all in use. And I can tell it's clicking in your brain, because even how you were describing now the situation with the victim trauma mechanism that
Mm.
came to say like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that, and like putting the limitations, basically locking yourself
Yeah.
back in the prison, you
Yeah.
caught it.
Mm.
And this is exactly one of the biggest points that I'm telling all of our, like all of the women who are interested in joining the program and like getting on this healing path, and everybody who just started. I'm not a parenting like coach. I will never give any scripts. You were not even parent at the time. But what I always want, my deepest intention for everybody, is that you become your own coach.
Mm.
And this is exactly what you're describing. You're able to catch it in yourself now, and you have the tools to turn it around by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to go for weekly sessions at some counselor just to do blah, blah, blah talk.
Mm.
Pick up the phone, call your friend to do that. You have the tools to process that and turn it
Yeah.
around and go into that eco mode, as you said, like sustainably. And now you feel like you can do what you want, not because of hyperachiever, that I have to do it to
Mm-hmm.
prove anything to anybody, that I'm a mom by myself and I can do it all and give me the badge of honor that I'm the best single mom in the world. No, you're doing that because it's the authentic you who wants it, and you're
Mm.
not afraid to express that this is what I want, and you're voicing it. Like,
Mm.
wow, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Elena. And also, what I wanted to tell, that technique of identifying victim and finding creative ways of solving it definitely helped me. Definitely helped me, because even 3 months ago, when my baby was in my hands and it required more attention, and I was so tired of like waste time for myself. And then I remember the technique that, oh, you have to be creative. Then I when he was crying, and I'm like, I need to have some physical exercise. And then it hit me, maybe I will go on YouTube and see exercises with a baby, 10 minutes. Bam, he was happy. He was first a bit curious, but then he was like, oh, he was happy. And I got my also like yeah, I could consume my energy that I had. So I'm really, really amazed. And it definitely helped me. I would be a different mom, definitely, without this program. Mm.
And I think everybody can see that. Anybody who's listening or watching this in a video, this is a mom of a almost 7 months old, solo parent by choice, who got out of unhelpful relationship, expatriate, by the way. This is something we didn't mention at the beginning. You're an expatriate, so there's not like an entire huge support system or anything around you. You have some help, but it's not as if you lived in your country of origin. So anybody, like, wow, right? Can you imagine you being able to have this huge smile on your face with the 6 months old at home that you manage by yourself? This is so fantastic, Victoria. This is so beautiful. So tell me, what's next for you, Supermom?
Well, next for me, yeah, my child will go to kindergarten like in 5 months or so, or 6, 7, yeah, something like that. And I feel it's gonna be challenging, and it will challenge me on a new level. But I also know I have your support. I'm aware that there are traumas or patterns that will come up. I will try to handle them the best way I have, but also realizing that I can always come back. Something new popping up that doesn't work with the techniques I have your back.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. We've got you. And this is the beautiful confidence. Huh? It's a beautiful balance between I'm confident, I'm practicing the tools I got, and I can already work through a lot by myself. And also, I know I don't have to be alone. There is a place that would give me support, and I don't have to keep pushing by myself, isolating myself just because it would feel weak to ask for help.
Mm.
It's not weak, it's strong.
No.
And so this is the beautiful like balance between like independence and then leaning on support when needed. This is again another sign of beautifully integrated healing. Yep. So good. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for you. Victoria, any message you would have for future moms or solo moms who are maybe considering their options? and who are like tormented and in so much pain with like all the relationships and what society is pushing on them and their family is pushing on them. Like, what would you want them to know?
I want them to know that there is help. And if they feel that they can't cope with that, it's better to go and ask for it. And of course, it's always a risk. But when when you can't wait and you go, there is that point. And that was when I went for you, because you know that I had your advertisement 1.5 years on my Facebook. You was there, all the time, and I was watching. I'm like, ah. But they came upon that I felt like you will be helping me.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. And then again, that was, yeah, your intuition just kicked in. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
now is the time.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
wonderful. That intuition was always there. You just now unobstructed, like you cleared up the path for it to go even further. So good, Victoria. I'm so happy for you. And it was a real pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your story so openly, so vulnerably, yeah. And especially for somebody who was before, like, it was the hyperachiever driving the show. I know from my own experience how hard that is to admit and just like come clean without the walls and without the facade and the need to look in a certain way, like invincible. And now you showed that there was actually like a soft part hiding underneath that was scared and that was in pain. So I know how much courage that takes. So I don't take that lightly. And thank you so much for being so strong and for really wanting your voice to be heard with your story. I really appreciate it. So
Thank
powerful.
you, Elena. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we need to do like a catch up 1 year, 2 years later, when your baby boy is growing up, as you're going through the different stages, because it is completely normal. Huh? Our
Exactly.
kids, they always reveal new things, new aspects. I always talk about it. My daughter is my best teacher because she always shows me what I still need to clean up in myself. Because as she grows up, start remembering myself at her age.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness, okay, I need to continue working. So
Yeah,
that's completely normal, by the way. Yeah. So it's going to be fun to be like witnessing your story.
yeah. And I'm looking forward because I feel it's so exciting. Yeah, it's like my journey, and I want to heal more. I want to heal more because I feel there are areas that are not healed. And I want to become a better person because I think it will help me in other areas of my life.
And can you imagine you're already shining like this at this stage? And this is, by the way, another beautiful modeling of like the fact that you're so excited about healing more. That usually at the beginning, what so many people think, like not only they are skeptical, like you said at the beginning, you're skeptical about like what the
Mhm.
heck, how can you even help me with this? But there are lots of people who are even scared. They're like, oh no, I'm not opening that Pandora box of emotions and
Mm,
old pain. Like, no, I don't want to paint my childhood black because I'm so
yeah,
grateful to my parents. They didn't do anything wrong. I love them. Going to therapy would mean that I blame them for anything. That's not true. So they're like closing the door. So it's so beautiful that I hear you talk about like with such an excitement and passion. Like, I cannot
yeah.
wait to heal more.
Because it was me. I was actually putting everything under the carpet. But what happens is this dissonance. It's like you are whole exploding. You are not, you are unhappy. You can deny it, which I did, but it's true.
And it comes
So,
out
yeah,
anyways. You cannot sweep it
it
under the
comes.
carpet because then
Hmm,
it comes out the moment you least need it. Like
exactly.
the worst moment, it blows out of the blue. So yeah, that's actually one of the symptoms of unhealed generational developmental trauma indeed. Thank you so much, Victoria. Such pleasure.
Thank you,
Glad
Elena.
you're a baby boy. And I
Yeah,
cannot wait. Yeah, let's connect 1 year, 2 years
yeah.
from now, latest. Of course, I want to hear from you in the meantime, but here in the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.